With that said, I'd like to introduce our speaker of the day. Thierry Henry was named the head coach of Montreal Impact last November, taking charge of the club through the early days of the 2020 season as they advanced to the quarterfinals of the CONCACAF Champions League and are undefeated through the opening 2 games of the league campaign. In his playing days, Henry was one of the most decorated players in world soccer history. One of the greatest strikers of all time, Henry played for Monaco, Juventus, Arsenal, and Barcelona, twice finishing as runner-up for the FIFA Player of the Year award, as well as Ballon d'Or, winning titles in the English Premier League, as well as Spain's La Liga. At the international level, Henry won the 1998 FIFA World Cup, Euro 2000, 2003 FIFA Confederations Cup while representing France, and he is still the country's all-time leading goal scorer with 51 international goals in 123 appearances. In 2010, Henry first came to MLS, joining the New York Red Bulls midway through the season, one of 11 FIFA World Cup winners to play in the league. Henry spent 5 seasons with the Red Bulls, retiring as an active player following the 2014 season. Henry still has the 3rd most goals and 2nd most assists in Red Bull club history. Henry has also served as head coaches for AS Monaco, as well as before taking over the Impact last year. The Impact advanced past Deportivo Saprissa of Costa Rica in CONCACAF Champions League, recording a win and a draw in their first 2 matches this season before league play was suspended due to COVID-19 pandemic. With that, I'd like to welcome to our screen Thierry Henry. Can we open up Thierry's line?
Hello.
Hello. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Questions. I'd just like to get your thoughts about where we are right now. I mean, we're in the middle of a global pandemic. It's an unprecedented time for so many individuals. And, how are you holding up during this time? And what are you doing to keep yourself busy and manage these difficult times?
Well, first and foremost, I would like to, to send a little message to everyone. Hope that everyone is okay out there. Families too, whoever's on the call right now. Something also that I wanted to say, to thank the frontline workers that are making stuff possible for us at the minute. Obviously, they are doing extremely well, wherever you are, to make sure that the country can still function. So I just wanted to thank them, in all fairness. And to talk about what am I doing, I'm trying to train in the morning, train in the afternoon, cooking. That takes a lot of time already. Trying to make phone calls also with the staff, my staff, with the team whenever we can, to make sure that they stay in shape. Other than that, that's it. I know it sounds kind of boring, but the situation makes it like that. Taking care of myself a bit, like I said a bit before, but that's about it.
Thank you. We are going to open it up now to questions. As I mentioned in the intro, please, if you could, press the raise hand button at the bottom of your screen if you do have a question, and we will try to get to as many questions as possible. We already see many in the queue. We are going to start with Glenn Levy from CNN, followed by Jeff Carl from ESPN, and then Jonathan Tannenwald from Philly.com. We'll open it up. Glenn, if you could, please, when you see a prompt to unmute your computer, please make sure you press that button so we can hear questions. Glenn, your line is open.
Thanks. Appreciate it, Thierry. Many thanks for joining us today. And
thank you.
Similar good wishes to you, your family, and
appreciate it.
Colleagues, of course. So obviously, very curious to hear your thoughts generally. We know obviously you're currently coaching this team in the midst of a global pandemic at Montreal. Very keen to know if you would like to see Major League Soccer resume if possible, or do you indeed feel that perhaps the decision will need to be taken to cancel the season, as we have seen in the likes of France today and the Netherlands last Friday?
Well, Glenn, listen, in all fairness, for me, I'm sure the commissioner and whoever is involved to take that decision are working obviously extremely hard to find out what we're about to do. All we can do on our side is to be focused and prepare to whatever is going to come our way. They're going to take the decision. We're going to have to execute whatever they want us to execute. But on my side, all I can do is to try to keep my team, the staff, or whoever prepared to whatever is going to come our way. As you mentioned, I've seen that people took one way and one path. I don't know what's going to happen, what's going to happen with the league. We just have to wait and see and be ready for whatever that's going to come our way.
Thank you, Glenn. Our next question will go to Jeff Carlisle with ESPN. Jeff, you should be unmuted now.
Thierry, thanks for taking the time.
Thank you.
Obviously, you know, France has been one of the harder hit countries in terms of this pandemic. You know, how much anxiety has that created for you with regard to friends and family back in France, and how difficult has it been to focus on your current coaching duties under these circumstances?
Listen, I just think that it is a world problem at the minute. Obviously, we're all one country right now. Either way, wherever you are, we're all worried about our families. We're thinking about how everyone is. Make sure we're not, you know, we're respecting the rules by staying at home and not passing on that obviously vicious virus. So yeah, I try to obviously speak with my family, as much as I can. Know how they are, see how they're doing, how they're coping with everything that's happening. But I think for me right now, it's not a country, French thing or whatever thing. It's we all need to be together as human beings, and we all one country right now. And I think that's what I'm sensing from everyone. But since you're asking me, yeah, obviously I'm trying to find out what's happening with the family out there. And everyone is okay. So I mean, that's the most important thing. But like I said to you right now, it's not only like a French thing. I see it as a global thing, as everyone know. But obviously, I try to find out what's happening with the family there.
Thank you, Jeff. Our next question is going to Jonathan Tannewald, followed by Doug McIntyre, and then Tom Bogert. Jonathan, your line is now open.
Hi, thanks, Lauren. Thierry, how much is your perspective affected by the situation in Quebec currently, which is one of the hardest hit parts of Canada by this, and also perhaps even by the decision today, you know, by the French government to shut down the French league for a while and things over there, and you know, as a coach, having to deal with young players, not just veterans and so on, who might be looking to you for some guidance to say what should they make of all of this.
It's very difficult for me to talk about something that have all the ingredients of what happened in France and why they took that decision. All I know is here, since I've been here, the country, the prime minister here did everything ever so well to make sure that everyone was going to be relaxed about the situation. Obviously, I use the word relax in brackets. So they've done a great job. Obviously, it's very difficult to deal with what we're dealing at the minute, trying to make sure that we can stop that virus. But as a coach, like I said before, I don't know if you heard, it's the not knowing when we're going to come back. That's kind of in bracket unknowing. Other than that, like I said, you just have to be prepared to the when. We have the fitness coach obviously sending some exercises to the players to report to him to see if they're doing it. The motivation, you can talk about the motivation, isn't always easy. It can be easy for me. I see it as an easy thing. If you're a competitor, you have to obviously have to train and work hard and be ready to whatever's going to come your way. But at times, I guess it's not always easy. To know the when you're coming back. You know, a competitor would like to know when he's going to compete, but you have to be ready for it. We have exercises for them to do. So at the minute we can simply not go on the field. So they have to take care of themselves in a certain way at home, go on the run by respecting the rules, obviously, and be ready to whatever's going to come our way. I know I'm repeating myself, but that's what we need to do right now. Sending some videos sometime about stuff that we can do better, talk, you know, all those little tools that can improve the way we can be playing, although we're not on the field. So usually when you train during the week, you want to see that transformation on the field. But right now, you're not even training on the field to see that transformation at the weekend. Everyone is at home on their side, and you have to trust them. I think trust is right now a key word in terms of what we want to do, because you have to trust those players to do what they're supposed to do to be able to perform and be ready when we're going to be able to play again.
Thank you so much. Our next question is going to Doug McIntyre with Yahoo Sports, based in Montreal. Doug, your line should be open.
Thanks, Lauren. Merci, Thierry, for doing this. I wanted to ask what your average day is like. Can you take us through it? It looks like you're still in the hotel. How difficult is it to be isolating by yourself through this whole ordeal?
I just put the background thing behind me. Now I'm in the house. No, listen, my day. I wake up, work out, cook, relax a bit, go back to workout. Sometime I will watch some games that I've seen before. Sometime I will just relax, cook again at night. There's one thing that I don't know if it's the same for you, but it seems like you need to clean the house every 2 minutes because usually you're not at home, so you're not cooking that much. And so you always have to wash the dishes, clean the house. So the usual stuff that I don't usually do. Other than that, I try to take care of myself, obviously, and be in shape. I didn't do that for a very long time, but yeah, that's it. And think, sometimes one of the things that I do is thinking about the games that we played. I know they're not a lot, but the situation made it like that. But I'm thinking about stuff that we might change or not, or how we can play, or what can be the next step, or new a way of training. Are we going to do the same way or not? A lot of stuff are going in through my head sometime during the day. Although I don't talk officially about it because I cannot. But I think about it.
Thank you so much. Our next questions are going to Tom with MLSsoccer.com, Ryan Tolmich, and then Drake Hills. Tom, your mic is now open.
Hey, Thierry. Thanks for doing this. I just wanted to kind of ask on the last question that you answered, I guess, what have you learned from some of the film you've been able to watch, that you've had the opportunity to watch more about this team? And what is the player recruitment side of your day going like? Are you able to do much?
Well, no, I mean, one thing that's weird is usually, you tend to watch a game to see if you can learn something from other coaches, which is normal. Right now, obviously, there's no game on TV. You have no game. So usually with the staff, we watch games and we're like, oh, that's interesting. I would never have thought about, whatever thing that you saw, and you try to implement it in a way that you like to play to make sure that it can look like something good. But yeah, that's the tricky one, because you're looking at old videos that we kind of went through already with the players individually or as a team. So that's why it's not that easy, if you know what I mean. It's easier when you have new materials and you can show something new to the players. What we're doing right now is just thinking about what's been done before, and which is we already talk about it to the players, as I said, to you individually or as a team. So that's not an easy one. And obviously everything is kind of on standby right now. Nobody knows who's going to move when, what's gonna happen. We're all waiting to see if we're going to play football again. So that's where it is right now.
Thank you so much. Our next question is going to come from Ryan Tolmich. Ryan, your line is open.
Hey, Thierry, as everyone said, thank you a bunch for the time today. Just to kind of ask something a little bit more general, obviously you have a unique perspective on this league, having played in it and now managing in it, and you've seen some different levels of growth. Obviously, the league looks a lot different now than when you came in. And a few weeks ago, someone you went up against plenty of times, Wayne Rooney, said that there's still another level that this league needs to get to. And it's a step away from being where it needs to be and where it should be. Just as someone who's played in here and now manages here and has seen that growth, what is the next level for this league, and how much has really changed since you were here?
For me, the biggest thing, like I said, when I joined Montreal, the fact that now teams are buying players from the Mexican League and managing to get players from Europe earlier. I don't think that would have happened before. The league was always trying to get guys at the end of their season, end of their contract, and try to see if they would come or not. Now, teams are going and getting those players from the Mexican League. early, straight away, young age. Argentina. I'm not going to name all the countries, but that wouldn't have happened before. And so that's a sign that the league is evolving. But to go back to, it's very difficult because the 25th anniversary of the league this year. And so you have other leagues that have 100 years already, some a bit less. You have clubs in Europe that are 125 years old. It's difficult to battle history. So let the league grow. And reach, I don't know how far that league can go. This league can go. It's up to us, obviously. Now I'm back in to make sure that we can elevate the league as much as we can. This league has no limit for me, but you need time to reach that level, if you know what I mean. But like I said, I'm more than happy to see now players coming here early and from Argentina at a young age. And the Mexican league, I don't know if that would have happened before. You have the likes of Carlos Vela here playing here that could have gone back to Europe, but clubs now are capable of holding on to those players. That's a sign of how the league grew for me.
Thank you so much for the question. Our next question is going to come from Drake Hills from the Tennessean and the USA Today Sports Network. Drake, your line should be open.
Thank you, Lauren. I appreciate it. Thierry, I wanted to ask in terms of how you're building those relationships with the technical staff as well as the players as well. So when you came into MLS, it was in the summer, it was in the middle of the season, and you had to adjust immediately. Now, as a coach and as a manager, you had that opportunity to come in at the turn of the year and have a preseason to work with your technical staff and your players to build those relationships. What did that look like then? And obviously now with the stay-at-home orders, what does it look like now? And how are you continuing to build those relationships so that when play does continue, that you guys have a little bit of momentum?
Well, what's difficult is not being on the field. As I mentioned before, you cannot beat that. You need to be on the field in order to have that feeling, training with intensity. And when you succeed at what you wanted to do or what you plan to do for a game or for a training session, the players are buying it a bit more because they can feel it a bit better. But yes, as you mentioned, if you arrive at the beginning of a season and you have those, we had a month and a half or so to prepare, make your mistake, change the tactic, kind of change the brain that they had before, not having a go at the coach before, but the coach asked them to play a way that he liked, and you have to change them to play the way that you like, and it takes time. It takes a lot of time. I always mention Jurgen Klopp. It took him 3.5 years to do what he's doing with Liverpool. It doesn't happen just like that. So we were kind of getting somewhere. It was early stage. Let's not get carried away. Guys were starting to understand what we wanted and how we wanted to play and the intensity and the togetherness and the fight that we wanted to put into games obviously fight in the right way. But then you had to stop. But we're not the only one. Every team in the league were kind of growing into what they wanted to do, but then you have to stop. And then, like I said, trust is very important right now. Because you're not with the players. You're only sending information. Are they following the information? You would like to think so. But it is what it is. You have to trust those guys. We talked about it in preseason. We talked about a lot of stuff and how we're going to behave and how we're going to play and what we're going to be, identity, the philosophy that takes time to put in place. But now you have to trust them. You have to trust them, give them information, give them exercises that they need to do. And when they come back, if you're a champion and you're a competitor, you will come back fit, because that's what drives you, and that's how it should be at the end of the day.
Thank you. Our next 3 questions are going to come from Annie Peterson from the Associated Press, followed by Ariel JUDAS from Football MLS, and then Arch Bell. So Annie Peterson, if we can open up your line, your mic should be open. Annie, can you hear us okay?
Yes, I'm sorry. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. And thank you for taking the time. My question is, how long do you think once you you're able to come back, how long do you think that the players will need together in a training camp situation to prepare?
Well, that's a very good question, because you just don't know. It will be based, obviously, on what they did. You would like to think that they're following our orders in terms of what they need to do, because we need them to be back to a certain level to be able already to step the game up, if I can say. But they already know that when they're going to come back, we're going to have a test to find out how well and how much work they put into it, because I think that's very important, because we can't waste time, because we just don't know how much time we're going to get if we come back to play. So that's what I was mentioning before. You just have to be ready to whatever is going to come our way. But yeah, that's a tricky one, because it depends on how the players are going to come back. So we're hoping that they're working hard.
Our next question is Ariel. Ariel, your line is open from Football MLS.
You want to see in your team?
Apologies. You know what? Your mic became unmuted in the middle of your question. If you could you repeat that question?
Yeah, sure. Thank you. Thierry, I would like to ask you, what do you expect style-wise from your team? Given time, of course, what do you expect to see from your team in after some months of plays have gone by?
Well, exactly what you saw before. I don't know if you watch us play. Exactly what you saw before. Intensity, togetherness, never give up attitude, and work hard. You know, style will come because it takes time, but you need to have that in abundance. And I think we had that before we stopped, so hopefully we can have that again after. It was early doors, like I said. Let's not get carried away, but I would like to see that again and more.
Thank you so much. I know that we have so many questions that individuals would like to ask, but we do need to make sure that we take time to do our French questions as well. And so our final question in English is going to come from Arch Bell. Arch, your microphone should be open now.
Okay, can you hear me okay, Lauren?
We've got you, yes, thank you.
Okay, great, thank you. Terry, you mentioned earlier, you were talking about how MLS has been able to bring in some of these younger players from Mexico and Argentina to the league here of late. I wanted to get your perspective or your advice or recommendation on what you would give to one of those younger players like a Chicharito Hernandez, who, you know, garners so much interest, attracts so much attention, and you know the pressures of having the spotlight on you when you join a new league like MLS, and something you experienced when you joined the Red Bulls. What piece of advice or suggestions would you give to a player like Chicharito, you know, handling the pressures of joining a league like MLS where so much attention is focused on him?
Well, in all fairness, I don't think that Chicharito needs any advice. I mean, the guy played in some of the best team in the world. It's just an adjustment that he will for sure make, and he will then be successful in this league. For me, it's just like I just said, you need to adjust to this league. A lot of people, you know, when I came to play here, a lot of people, when I was going back to Europe, were telling me, "Oh, this league is easy." I was like, "Hey, the league is not easy. You need to adjust to it. It's physical, the traveling. You go to play in Houston, it's 39. I mean, I'm talking in obviously Celsius. It's 38, 39, 90% humidity. Everybody runs everywhere. You're out of breath. It's too hot. You have a lot of stuff that you need to battle when you arrive in this league, and you need to understand this league and understand the fans and understand, you know, what's at stake.
Terry, unfortunately, I think we had you muted for the end of that portion. Do you mind just repeating that last sentence?
No. I was just saying that Chicharito doesn't need any. I was just saying at the end that Chicharito doesn't need any advice. You know, he played in so many teams that he will figure it out. It's just an adjustment of the league. He's a great player and he will adjust.
Thank you so much. We really appreciate your thoughts in English. And now we are going to turn it over to Pat with Montreal Impact PR to help with the French language portion. Pat, are you with us? Okay, I think we've got you, Pat.
Yeah. Bonjour tout le monde, Patrick Vallee de l'Impact. Merci de vous joindre à nous pour cette conférence vidéo avec Thierry. J'espère que tout le monde va bien et est en santé. Donc, seulement rappeler que, comme pour les questions en anglais, l'entraîneur-chef de l'Impact est disponible aujourd'hui pour discuter des sujets reliés à l'Impact et à la MLS. Puis on vous rappelle que pour poser une question, vous devez peser sur le bouton « Raise Hand » au bas de l'écran pour faire la demande. Alors, je laisse Lauren pour la première question. Do we have Michel Lamarche online? Michel, est-ce que tu es là?
Je suis là. Est-ce que vous m'entendez?
Très bien.
Oui, oui, très bien.
Bonjour Thierry. Bonjour, vous allez bien?
Ça va? Oui, oui, oui. Tout le monde va bien? La famille va bien?
Ça va bien, merci. Plaisir de vous parler.
Merci.
J'aimerais revenir en arrière un peu au moment où la Ligue a annoncé la pause le 12 mars. Je serais curieux de savoir quel était votre état d'esprit à ce moment-là, puis est-ce que vous anticipiez est-ce que vous pouviez craindre que le 28 avril, on serait où on en est, avec encore une période d'incertitude, non seulement pour la vie de tous les jours, mais la Ligue aussi?
Personnellement, je ne suis pas du genre à penser comme ça. Quand tout ça est arrivé, déjà le plus important quand même, c'est que c'est l'état de santé de tout le monde. Donc, le foot devient secondaire. Donc, quand c'est sorti, je me rappelle avec le staff, on se posait des questions et j'ai dit, les gars, quand même, le plus important, c'est l'état de santé de tout le monde. Et peu importe le temps que ça va prendre, il va falloir serrer les dents comme tout le monde parce que là, c'est la santé de tout le monde avant tout. Donc, je me suis pas posé de questions. Est-ce que ça va être long? Est-ce que ça va pas être long? Franchement, je vous dis, c'est la pure et stricte vérité. J'ai pas pensé à ça. Je me suis pas dit, ah non, on est bien, on n'est pas bien, on va perdre du temps. Non, non. Santé de tout le monde avant tout. Et quand tout va se réouvrir, eh ben, ça va se réouvrir. Si on doit attendre encore, eh ben, on attendra encore. Je pense qu'à un moment donné, il faut respecter les règles. Et c'est ce que je me suis dit dans ma tête. Et voilà, tout simplement.
Merci, Michel. Michel Lamarche de la presse canadienne. Prochaine question, Dave Lévesque du Journal de Montréal.
Vous m'entendez?
Oui, oui, oui.
Oui, bonjour Thierry. J'espère que ça va bien. Ça semble être le cas, du moins. Ma question est simple. Les choses étaient bien entamées dans la saison, 5 matchs, un bon départ dans l'ensemble. Est-ce que tu as l'impression que c'est un peu une impression de coït interrompu en ce moment?
Non, non, franchement, encore une fois, je ne sais pas si tu as entendu ce que j'ai dit avant. On ne va pas s'enflammer sur 5 matchs. Donc voilà, je pense qu'il y avait des signes qui sortaient de ce qu'on voulait faire, surtout au niveau de la combativité, ne jamais lâcher, d'aller vers l'avant. Le style commençait un peu à sortir tout doucement, ne s'enflammons pas non plus. Mais encore une fois, le plus important, c'est la santé de tout le monde. Je sais que je me répète, mais dans ma tête, quand ça arrivait, je me suis pas dit, franchement, c'est la vérité, je me suis pas dit, oh non, non. Je me suis dit, hey, restons à la maison, essayons de régler les choses. Encore une fois, j'en ai parlé tout à l'heure. Tu vois, mais les frontline workers, ce qu'ils sont en train de faire, c'est extraordinaire. Je pense qu'il y a des choses beaucoup plus importantes quand même. Donc voilà, c'est vrai que là, on est en train de parler de football, il faut en parler, mais je me suis pas dit ça. Franchement, on est rentré, je me rappelle, on s'était entraîné à Marie-Victorin. On est rentré, ils nous ont dit le match contre Olympia était annulé, que peut-être ça allait continuer. Je me rappelle, j'ai dit au staff, j'ai dit à l'équipe, les gars, soyez prêts pour tout. La santé avant tout et essayons d'être prêts pour le retour. Bien sûr, encore une fois, on ne sait pas quand sera ce retour, mais franchement, c'est ce que je me suis dit. Je me suis pas dit oh oui, non, on était en train de monter en puissance. Voilà, c'est un peu l'histoire de toutes les équipes aussi dans la ligue, hein, si on parle comme ça. Mais bon, c'est comme ça, il va falloir reprendre et continuer. Il y a quelques messages qui sont passés dans la tête des joueurs. Ils savent ce qu'on veut. Maintenant, physiquement, il va falloir essayer de recommencer. Mais c'est tout le monde en même temps.
Merci, Dave. Prochaine question, Frederic Lord de TVA Sport. Fred, est-ce que tu es là, Frédéric?
Oui. Oui, je suis là. Est-ce qu'on m'entend?
Oui.
Oui, bonjour Thierry, content de vous avoir. Merci de prendre ces quelques minutes avec nous. Vous avez répondu un peu en anglais, mais comment vous vivez ça à Montréal? Je sais, on a entendu que vous étiez un peu seul dans votre hôtel. Est-ce que vous vous sentez comme The Shining? Est-ce que vous gardez contact aussi avec le reste de l'équipe? Comment se passe
Je suis plus à l'hôtel. Je suis plus à l'hôtel, mais je suis plus à l'hôtel. Non, mais franchement, c'est encore une fois, je l'ai dit la dernière fois dans une autre interview que à jamais je resterai attaché à cette ville parce que je suis en train de vivre ça ici, de voir aussi. Je parlais tout à l'heure des frontline workers, ce qu'ils sont en train de faire, ce que les gens sont en train de faire, non pas seulement dans la ville, mais aussi au Québec, pour que tout se rétablisse le plus rapidement possible. C'est vraiment extraordinaire de voir ça. Vraiment, quand tu vois ça, tu te sens vraiment petit. C'est pour ça que là, quand on est en train de parler de foot, ça va revenir quand? Et j'essaye de dire, et c'est pas de l'humilité ou de rester. C'est juste, je me dis, il y a des choses beaucoup plus importantes quand même. Donc, c'est vrai que c'est ma passion, c'est ma vie. J'aimerais bien que ça reprenne, mais attention, il faut essayer de rester calme, penser à ce qui est en train de se passer à l'heure actuelle. Voilà. Et je pense même pas. Bon, je pense bien sûr du côté coach à ce qu'on peut faire sur le retour, mais après, quand je me mets bien sûr dans la peau de l'humain, le plus important quand même, c'est la santé des gens et le bien-être des gens. Et encore une fois, je reparle des frontline workers parce que c'est eux, là, en ce moment, les vrais héros, pardon, et ce qu'ils sont en train de faire, c'est extraordinaire. Donc voilà, à ce que je pense un peu depuis cette quarantaine, isolation, rester à la maison, respecter les règles. Donc voilà.
Merci, Fred. Prochaine question également de TVA Sport. On a Vincent Détouche. Vincent Détouche, est-ce que tu es là? Est-ce que Vincent, tu nous entends? Seulement enlever le mute sur ton micro. Sinon, on va passer à la prochaine question. Jérémy Filosa, 98.5. Jérémy, est-ce que tu es là? Est-ce que tu nous entends?
Allô, vous m'entendez?
Oui, très bien, Jérémy, on t'écoute.
OK, merci beaucoup. Merci, coach, de nous donner quelques minutes aujourd'hui.
Comment ça va?
Oui, ça va bien. On travaille de la maison, donc ça pourrait être pire, comme on dit. Voilà. Il y a plusieurs scénarios qui sont sur la table dans plusieurs ligues nord-américaines, entre autres, peut-être choisir 3, 4, 5 sites où on pourrait reprendre les activités avec des joueurs qui demeuraient à huis clos, des tests régulièrement. Qu'est-ce que vous pensez de ce scénario? Est-ce que, selon vous, les joueurs l'accueilleraient favorablement? Est-ce que vous accueilleriez ce scénario-là favorablement, de vous déplacer dans une ville pour jouer des matchs dans le même stade, mais dans un genre d'écosystème là où tout le monde serait testé?
Franchement, je ne sais pas si tu as entendu ce que j'ai dit tout à l'heure en anglais, mais la Ligue, je pense, est en train de travailler durement pour avoir la meilleure formule quand on va reprendre, si on reprend. Donc voilà, je pense que le commissionnaire avec son équipe est en train de voir la meilleure solution pour nous, pour savoir ce qui peut se passer dans le futur. Nous, on doit s'adapter. Encore une fois, c'est pas moi, mon équipe, les joueurs, est-ce qu'on est d'accord, pas d'accord. À un moment donné, la Ligue est en train de travailler pour pouvoir trouver une solution, la meilleure solution, bien sûr. Donc voilà, nous on répondra présent, peu importe la solution.
Merci, Jérémy. Est-ce que Vincent, tu es de retour? Vincent Détouche, est-ce qu'on t'entend pour ta question? Juste enlever le micro mute. Si ça ne fonctionne pas, on va passer à la prochaine question. Olivier Tremblay de Radio-Canada. Olivier Tremblay, est-ce que tu es là?
Absolument, je suis là. Bonjour Patrick, bonjour Thierry.
Bonjour.
Je vous entends donc que vous êtes prêts preuve d'adaptation à vous adapter à ce que la MLS va vous proposer, mais est-ce que vous sentez qu'il y a un certain dialogue quand même? Est-ce que la confrérie des entraîneurs et des spécialistes qui vont quand même devoir gérer ce groupe de joueurs-là qui peut-être pourraient jouer des matchs à un rythme plus soutenu qu'à l'habituel si la Ligue veut essayer de jouer le plus possible sa saison? Est-ce que vous sentez que la Ligue est à l'écoute des préoccupations des spécialistes comme vous et comme le staff?
Encore une fois, je rentre pas dans ces débats-là. Quand la Ligue aura trouvé une solution de ce qu'on doit faire, nous, on appliquera les règles. Donc voilà, que tu sois content ou pas content, c'est pareil. Donc voilà.
Merci, Olivier. Prochaine question de RDS, Sébastien Boucher. Sébastien, est-ce que tu es là? Tu dois enlever le mute sur ton écran aussi dans le coin gauche. Sinon, est-ce qu'on a Arcadio Marcoudi sur la ligne? Est-ce qu'Arcadio est là pour une question?
M'entends-tu, Pat?
Oui, Sébastien, parfait. Merci.
Oui, excusez-moi, petit problème. Merci Thierry de prendre le temps. Je sais que vous avez répondu à la grande majorité des questions une première fois en anglais, au risque de vous répéter. Je sais qu'il y a des choses plus importantes en ce moment que le foot, mais il faut en parler. Vous êtes entraîneur-chef de l'Impact. Et il y a plein de scénarios évoqués. On ne sait pas quand va avoir lieu la reprise, ni même de l'entraînement, ni même de la saison, si ça reprend à un moment donné. Vous l'aviez dit tout à l'heure, vous êtes en contact avec votre staff, évidemment, régulièrement. Quelle approche vous avez avec le staff? Qu'est-ce que vous dites à votre staff et aux joueurs? Parce qu'il faut quand même un minimum de préparation pour le moment où la MLS va dire « on va de l'avant ».
Exactement. Pour l'instant, on est dans l'utopie. Donc, tout le monde parle, j'entends des trucs, mais il n'y a rien de concret, donc on attend. Après, avec le staff, on sait déjà où on veut aller au niveau de notre façon de jouer, de ce qu'on a demandé aux joueurs. Les joueurs aussi le savent. Où on rentre un peu plus dans les discussions, c'est bien sûr avec les joueurs et un peu plus avec Jules. Jules est le préparateur physique, donc il fait un énorme travail à l'heure actuelle parce que faut envoyer les exercices, faut voir ce que les joueurs ont fait, s'ils l'ont fait, bien fait. Mais à un moment donné, je le disais tout à l'heure, il faut faire confiance aux joueurs parce que on n'est pas avec eux. On n'est pas avec eux, on a besoin qu'ils travaillent dur. Donc voilà, on essaye de temps en temps de se voir sur Zoom, donner des entre guillemets des ordres qu'ils doivent respecter. Donc voilà, mais c'est vrai que là dans le plus gros, Jules a un travail énorme à faire parce que c'est un peu plus sa branche, la branche physique, la préparation. Donc voilà, mais nous au niveau du staff, on sait comment on veut jouer, on sait où on veut aller. Il y a eu cette interruption bien sûr, mais j'espère qu'on pourra reprendre de plus belle quand ça va revenir.
Merci. On va prendre 2 dernières questions en français. On a tout d'abord Arcadio Marcoudi, Journal Métro, et on va terminer ensuite avec Olivier Brett de RDS et du 91.9. Est-ce que tu es là, Arcadio? Tu dois unmuter ton micro, encore une fois, à gauche, dans le bas de ton écran. Arcadio, est-ce que tu es là? Sinon, comme je le disais, est-ce que Olivier Brett est prêt, disponible pour sa question?
Il faut appuyer sur l'écran. Des fois, si tu appuies sur l'écran, ça apparaît en bas à gauche.
Ouais,
si
on
vous
dirait
appuyez sur l'écran, ça apparaît en bas à gauche. Si vous appuyez sur l'écran, ça apparaît en bas à gauche si vous ne l'avez pas déjà. Appuyez sur l'écran, ça va apparaître en bas à gauche.
Olivier Brett, es-tu là?
Reprendre le son.
Une dernière chance pour Olivier ou Arcadio? Sinon, ce sera tout en français. That's going to be the last question in French. Lauren,
Je suis là en ce moment. Est-ce qu'on m'entend bien?
On t'entend bien, Olivier.
Ah, voilà!
Désolé. Merci beaucoup d'avoir été assez patient pour attendre jusqu'à cette question-là.
Il n'y a pas de problème.
Thierry, peut-être juste avoir tes impressions, ça reste de la spéculation, à savoir comment, sous quelle forme on va revenir, mais il est fort possible qu'il y ait des matchs à huis clos. J'aimerais que tu nous parles peut-être de ton expérience, si tu as des matchs marquants peut-être que tu as vécu, et des impacts que ça peut avoir, certainement contraignants, je présume, mais peut-être aussi positifs sur une équipe comme la tienne qui va reprendre sous peu, on l'espère.
J'ai pas eu l'occasion de jouer des matchs à huis clos, si je me rappelle bien. Non, je ne pense pas que j'ai joué des matchs à huis clos. J'en ai joué, j'essaie de me souvenir, mais non, donc je ne sais pas ce que c'est. Et d'un autre côté, encore une fois, je sais que je me répète, mais si la Ligue décide de faire ça, eh ben on fera ça, peu importe la situation. Est-ce que c'est le mieux? Est-ce que c'est pas le mieux? Ça a été bien réfléchi, je pense, si cette décision est prise, bien sûr, parce qu'on est en train de spéculer. Donc voilà, je sais que je me répète encore, on s'adaptera et c'est comme ça. C'est la situation et il faut penser au bien-être de tout le monde. Donc voilà.
Merci. Back to you, Lauren.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much to our journalists that were on the call today. We will be providing a transcript from today's call as well as video. So please look for those that information coming out from both MLS Communications channels as well as the Montreal Impact. Thierry Henry, thank you so much for your time today.
Thank you. Be safe, guys.
Thank you, everyone. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Merci. Thank you.